Hi, I'm Tish at Norma Restaurant in Fitzrovia. Today I'm going to be cooking a lovely stuffed squid dish with fried breadcrumbs, capers, sultanas and fresh fennel herb, and I'm serving that with a tomato aioli made with muti double concentrate tomato puree. First thing I'm going to do is make the stuffing for the squid, so I'm going to fry the breadcrumbs off. Got some olive oil in the pan, breadcrumbs in, and put some salt in there too, just to season it up. We don't want them too crispy, otherwise they'll be too kind of brittle to go into the squid, but we do want a nice golden brown colour on them, so you might need to add a bit more oil as you go. While I'm waiting for the breadcrumbs, we're going to chop our fennel herb for the filling, and then back to the breadcrumbs. You can see now that they're starting to colour nicely. So once you've got your breadcrumbs nice and golden, transfer them into a bowl. And then we're going to add our other ingredients into there. Some toasted pine nuts, some sultanas and raisins, and they've just been soaked in a little bit of warm water just to soften up. And then we've got some capers, and we're going to moisten the whole thing up with a little bit of the pickling brine. That'll just help bring everything together. And then our chopped herbs, mix the whole thing through, create a nice stuffing. You just want to also add just some olive oil into that then as well. So pop that to the side. And then we've got our squid here. It's lovely fresh squid tubes. All I've done is taken the inside out, but I've left the wings on and I've left some of the outside skin on. Okay, so stuffing the squid, open the cavity and then we'll get some of the mix, making sure it kind of goes down to the bottom. Once the squid is stuffed, get a cocktail stick, put one through at the top that way and one through the other way, just to kind of seal it as you're cooking. Got our squid stuffed and we're going to cook them up now. So we start with a hot pan and some olive oil in the pan, straight in there, season them as well. While they're caramelising, we're going to make our aioli. First thing we need to do is cook our tomato puree. I've got a little pan here, a couple of teaspoons. Using this muti tomato puree, it's got a really natural, fresh flavour, unlike a lot of other tomato purees or concentrates. This is double concentrate, it's got kind of less water in it, so it's got kind of a more dense consistency. I mean, I developed this aioli with the tomato puree in there for this dish. I think because of the freshness of the tomato in there, it really kind of cuts through the aioli, and it also cuts through the butter and the richness of the squid. I think it works really well. You just want it to get a little bit bubbling and then it's literally ready. Have a little look at our squid. They're starting to caramelise beautifully, but we need a bit more on that. For our aioli, we've got some egg yolks here, some muscatel vinegar and some Dijon mustard. Add some flavour and acidity. Just going to turn these squids over. We're going to add butter into the pan. Basically what this does is adds flavour, will help kind of the cooking process, but also create a little sauce in the pan. Just going to pull those off and let that butter do its thing. So back to the aioli. So we've got our eggs in there, mustard and the vinegar, and then here I've got a mix of oils, vegetable oil and extra virgin olive oil. I just want to slowly whisk the oil into the eggs to emulsify it. Just go nice and slowly, otherwise you might split it if you go too quickly. You can see that, but that's kind of emulsifying nicely. When it started to take like that, then we can speed it up a little bit. Nicely emulsified, some salt into there, and then we're just going to add our muti double concentrate tomato puree into there. Stir that through. Really delicious. Little squeeze of lemon juice, with some acidity, and then you just put that out of the way until we're ready to use. Back to the squids. You see all the butter's just started to kind of nicely foam, and then what we want to do now is just finish off these squids with a basting, kind of add some nice flavour and also help keep everything nice and moist. And then some lemon juice. We'll transfer this out of the pan. Remove the cocktail sticks. Buttery, lemony juices over the top. The fennel herbs go on top of that. Finally, just some of our aioli with muti double concentrate tomato puree. Okay, so there's my stuffed squid with fried breadcrumbs, fennel herb and raisins and pine nuts. And on the side, a lovely tomato aioli with muti double concentrate tomato puree.